Hi, welcome back to another Crypto Dave video. It's Friday, which means another crypto interest rates and news update. Today is the 15th of January 2021. And as always, we start by taking a quick glance at the interest rates. Nothing major to report. I will be doing a deep dive into all of these, make sure everything's completely up to date this weekend. You can always check when the spreadsheet was last updated here in the top left when it has the last updated date. But the only thing I've had to do in the last few days is remove Solga, which is SGR, and we'll talk about that again in a minute, but it was a stablecoin that was listed on Celsius. It was only listed on Celsius. They've removed it because the project's actually kind of wrapping up. So we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail in a minute, but that's the only kind of major change. As I said, I'll be going through and doing a thorough kind of cleanup of this over the weekend. Moving on to the token kind of prices, not a great week across the board. Nexo's actually had a reasonable week, up almost 9%. Celsius down 10%, and Crypto.com, that's CRO, down 7.1%. So a pretty poor week for those. They sort of matching each other really in kind of price movement pretty kind of accurately. Nexo's had a nice little kind of pump up, but we've got some news from Nexo that may have caused that that we'll talk about in a minute. So then, yeah, the update from Solga. I don't know exactly how you pronounce it. Is it Solga or Salga? But I'll link this in the description below. Basically, it's just a post that explains that they're kind of wrapping up the kind of coin. But if you do have them, you can click on this link here and you can learn how you can get your Solga token converted back to Ethereum. So if you are holding SGR, make sure you convert it back to kind of Ethereum. And then moving on to the main kind of stories. Firstly, we've got Crossfire. So this is basically the mainnet kind of dry run. So this was it's announced a while ago, but there's more kind of stages to it now being kind of added. Basically, if you are interested in their CRO mainnet, if you're interested in running a node or anything like that, you can join this kind of like development, this kind of dry run, and you can basically kind of be entered into a sort of competition to earn a CRO. And I believe there was about was it $300,000 worth of CRO rewards. So you can see here phase 0, nothing for that, that's just registration, but we're now into phase 1, or we'll shortly be into phase 1. I believe on Monday that starts January the 18th. So this is setting up the validator, and then there's various kind of other phases over the next kind of couple of months, or through to the middle of February actually, so just over the next month. So setting up your kind of node, keeping it kind of active, upgrading things, as network attacks, and all these different kind of bits and bobs. And providing you kind of like participate in these, you get a chance to win the CRO that is available, and as I said, that's $300,000. So you can find out all the information here. I'll put, as always, the links to all these stories in the description below. But if you're interested in getting involved in the main net when it does launch, this is a good chance to kind of like have a look and see how it's going to kind of play out. So you can get in the dry run and maybe earn some CRO tokens. And then moving on to a couple more stories from Crypto.com. So I just got that this today, and this is really quite big news actually. The fact that lending is now live on the Crypto.com exchange. It's not available across all coins on the exchange. If we scroll down, you can see the collateral currencies will be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and CRO. Interesting that CRO will be one of the currencies that people will be able to kind of like put down as collateral for crypto-backed loans. But this is yeah, really quite interesting. It's launching on the exchange, which is quite nice to see. So you'll be able to borrow against your crypto on the exchange without selling them. You can look at the complete kind of article here. Loans going as low as 1%, but that is for a loan to value up to 25% with over 100,000 CRO staked. So yeah, lots of information no doubt will be coming out about this over the next kind of few weeks. But if you're interested in getting in early, if you go to the exchange, you can get involved in that now. And then next story from Crypto.com. So this came out almost a week ago now, but basically they have partnered with Booking.com to offer exclusive travel discounts. A little bit ironic, the kind of timing, considering much of the world is in lockdown at the moment and not allowed to kind of travel particularly, but you can enjoy up to 25% off when you shop with Booking.com in the Crypto.com app. So you have to do it through the app, and then obviously that's in addition to the regular kind of like cashback you get through using a Crypto.com card. So a few people seem to suggest that the bookings didn't actually look that kind of great. They were doing some comparisons. I think it will be a little while till we find out exactly how good a deal this kind of is, and what kind of bargains or not are available. But you can check that out now within the app. And then moving on to Nexo, excuse me. So obviously Nexo at the end of last year launched Nexonomics, and they posted this a few days ago. So it was 8 milestones in under 3 months. Nexonomics was a resounding success in 2020, and I'll let you read through this in your own kind of time. It's got a fair bit of information, but it basically kind of goes through their 8 different kind of sort of targets and how they were hit. So reaching 4 billion assets under management. Processed 5 billion now, it says there. The earn 3x in December, I think that was, wasn't it? And then various other kind of like targets. So Nexo token kind of growth, new assets, interests, stuff like that. 60% of clients opting to earn in Nexo, so that's quite interesting actually. Only 40% earning in kind now, so interesting to see if this continues and whether this has a positive impact on the Nexo price. And then, you know, various kind of other bits and bobs of information, their buyback program, stuff like that. So it was a bit of a kind of fluff piece by them, sort of like you know, praising themselves in a way, but nice to see some success. And I think we definitely have seen some success with the Nexo token. I think the price is reflective of that over the last few months, because previous to that had been quite flat. I think the fact that it was just only really kind of like useful for earning dividends, you know, didn't really kind of like mark it out as something that people wanted to hold. And I think particularly with kind of Celsius having such a run up last year, Nexo keen to emulate some of that success. So nice to see it being used for other things. And then another story from Nexo. So this actually came through yesterday. So they have increased the crypto loan to value ratio. So this is for crypto backed loans. They've basically increased the kind of like ratios. Now I have kind of mixed feelings about this. Because I think Nexo, back in March last year when there was that flash crash, a lot of people got liquidated. A lot of people with BTC loans at 50% were liquidated. They didn't necessarily receive the three notifications that they had to kind of top up their account. They weren't able to top up their account. I think Nexo then admitted that some of the systems that should have been sending out emails and texts and stuff like that weren't working properly. And I believe a similar thing, there was certainly a few complaints with the XRP when the SEC decision kind of came out and the XRP price dropped precipitously. There were I think a few people kind of liquidated and they weren't particularly happy about that, so there's certainly something to kind of bear in mind. Nexo do seem to be potentially just as an outsider kind of like reading these kind of like bits and pieces on kind of Reddit and stuff like that, do seem to be slightly more complaints with Nexo than other platforms. So do be careful if you're taking a crypto backed loan from any of these kind of platforms. But they're raising the loan to value ratio up to 25% for the Nexo token. I think this is a good idea. I think it gives the token a little bit more utility, and that's going up by 70% up to 25%. So quite a big increase there. And then the ratios for Bitcoin and Ethereum going up to 60%. That worries me slightly. You know, it's not unheard of to see a 40% drop. I mean, just this last week we had like a 20% drop. If something kind of like crazy happened, like we saw back last kind of March where there's a flash crash across basically multiple kind of industries, across the stock markets, across gold, across crypto, something like that, you could see yourself kind of liquidated with something like that, and then all the remaining assets get a bump of as much 65% more up to 35% maximum. And obviously the less stable the kind of coin, the lower the loan to value they should be looking at, and indeed that is what they are looking at. But I would be careful if you're going to start pushing your loan to values right up to kind of 60%, particularly something like Ethereum. It could have a big run up in price. You know, you could take out some money backed by that Ethereum, and it could crash down by 40%, and you could get kind of liquidated. So do make sure you are paying attention and make sure you are aware of the kind of risks. If you already have a loan, I believe the extra loan to value up to that will be available for you to either use or just leave in the account in case of liquidity. And then finally, CoinTracker.io. So the reason I'm pointing out this site is that they are going to be featured on the Celsius AMA this week, which will be later today. So if you are watching this soon after it kind of comes out, if you're interested in CoinTracker, they will be on the Celsius AMA later today. And basically, CoinTracker is a service that allows you to track your crypto portfolio, but also prepare your kind of taxes. So it links to major exchanges, accounts, and stuff like that, and then it can calculate all your kind of profits, loss, any capital gains earned or capital losses can kind of made, anything like that. So if you're interested in one of these kind of products, it's not the only one out there. There are a good number of crypto tax products out there and growing all the time. I think by the end of the year we'll probably have even more. But CoinTracker has been around for a kind of while. If you're interested in the tax side of kind of crypto, maybe listen to the Celsius AMA later today. So that's it for this week. Thanks very much for watching. As always, I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Hopefully I'll see you on the next video. But until then, have a great day. Bye-bye.